Japan is shrinking, not just its population, but its towns. From Hokkaido to Kyushu, many small communities are losing people faster than ever. But some of these towns are not giving up. Instead of fighting decline, they are trying to shrink smart. What does that mean? And can this approach actually save rural Japan? Let's take a journey through Japan's small towns, where fewer people doesn't always mean less life. For decades, Japan's countryside has faced a clear problem. Young people move to the cities, the population ages, and local economies collapse. Entire streets of shuttered shops, known as shutterdori, became symbols of this slow decline. The situation is so serious that by 2040, it's predicted that half of Japan's municipalities could disappear altogether. But rather than trying to rewind the clock and return to a past that's gone, some innovative mayors and urban planners have decided to adapt to reality. They call it smart shrinking, a strategy that focuses on making smaller communities more livable, more efficient, and more resilient. It's not about giving up. It's about getting creative and building a sustainable future with the people who are there. Let's take a concrete example. Tokamachi, a city in the snowy Niigata prefecture. Here, the local government decided to consolidate public services into one vibrant town center. Instead of trying to maintain dozens of half-empty schools and offices spread across a wide area, they built multi-purpose hubs. These are modern facilities where libraries, schools, and community centers are all combined under one roof. The result? Lower costs, less maintenance, but still a strong, connected sense of community. It's a place where kids, parents, and seniors can all interact. Then there's another incredible example, Kamikatsu, a town in Tokushima Prefecture. It's famous for being Japan's first zero-waste town. Even though its population is tiny, Kamikatsu became globally renowned for its environmental innovation, with residents sorting their waste into over 45 categories. Shrinking didn't mean disappearing. It meant transforming their identity and becoming a leader in sustainability. Smart shrinking also means completely rethinking mobility and housing. Instead of letting people live scattered in isolated homes that are difficult to service, some towns encourage them to move closer together. This creates compact, walkable neighborhoods where everything is within easy reach. The old, infrequent public buses are being replaced by on-demand electric shuttles that you can summon with an app. Old abandoned schools are getting a new lease on life, transforming into trendy co-working spaces for remote workers. Vacant houses, known as akiya, are being renovated into stylish cafes or guest houses, attracting visitors and new residents. This new model of rural life isn't about chasing economic growth at all costs. It's about prioritizing quality of life. People who move to these towns often describe their lives as slower, healthier, and more connected. They enjoy a closer relationship with nature and, just as importantly, with their neighbors. It's a shift from quantity to quality. Of course, it's not easy. This transition faces significant challenges. Many communities encounter strong emotional resistance. For elderly residents, the idea of leaving their ancestral homes, where their families have lived for generations, can be deeply painful. And then there's the ever-present question of money. As the population shrinks, so does the local tax base, yet the high costs of maintaining roads, pipes, and other infrastructure remain. It's a tough financial puzzle to solve. That's where innovation and collaboration become absolutely essential. Some towns are partnering with universities and private companies to test cutting-edge sustainable energy systems, develop unique tourism programs, or implement AI-based transport solutions. Others are actively inviting foreign residents or digital nomads to settle down and bring new energy and skills to the community. A great example is Fuji-Yoshida, a city located near the iconic Mount Fuji. It's actively wooing remote workers from Tokyo by offering affordable housing and state-of-the-art co-working spaces. The city may be shrinking in population size, but it's growing in creativity and global connection. Interestingly, Japan's shrinking towns are becoming unlikely models for the future, not just for Japan, but for aging societies all around the world. Countries in Europe and even parts of the US are watching closely to see what they can learn. The key lesson here is that population decline doesn't have to mean a decline in the quality of life. It's a challenge, but it's not a death sentence. By managing space smartly, investing in community bonds, and embracing change rather than fighting it, towns can remain vibrant and desirable places to live, even with fewer people. It's about building a strong, resilient community that can thrive in a new era. Ultimately, success depends on something deeper than just policy and infrastructure. It hinges on a change in mindset. Instead of desperately asking, how can we save this dying town? The new, more powerful question becomes, how can we make life meaningful and fulfilling right here, right now? That fundamental shift in perspective is what allows innovation to flourish where the population once fell. It unlocks a whole new realm of possibilities. Japan's small towns are teaching us that shrinking can be smart if it's done with care, creativity, and a strong community spirit. In the end, fewer people doesn't have to mean fewer dreams. It just means finding a new, more sustainable way of living together. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this journey into Japan's changing countryside interesting, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might be curious. We'll see you in the next one. Tokyo. Neon lights, crowded trains, long work hours, and stress. But in recent years, more and more Japanese people are saying, enough. They're leaving big cities behind and starting new lives in Japan's countryside, what they call inaka life. Why? What are they looking for? And is rural Japan really the peaceful paradise everyone imagines? Let's hear from people who made the big move, trading Tokyo's chaos for the countryside's calm. According to Japan's Ministry of Internal Affairs, thousands of people now move out of the Tokyo metropolitan area each year. This trend, often called U-turn, I-turn, and J-turn migration, describes people returning to their hometowns or moving to entirely new rural areas for a different lifestyle. The reasons are varied, but a common thread runs through them all: a search for something more meaningful. I used to work in Shinjuku, easily 10 hours a day. I realized I was spending more time on trains than I was with my own family. It just hit me one day. I'm done. That's Kenji, who is 38. He left his corporate job in Tokyo and moved to Nagano Prefecture to start an organic farm. He's not alone. The rise of remote work, accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic, and a collective burnout have inspired many to follow in his footsteps. People are no longer just dreaming of a slower life, they're actively creating it. So, what's the big attraction? What makes someone trade the world's largest metropolis for a quiet village? For many, the answer is simple: space, nature, and time. I wanted my kids to grow up seeing mountains, not skyscrapers. Here, they can run around freely, breathe clean air, and just play outside every single day. It's a gift. In the countryside, the cost of living is also significantly lower. Houses are more affordable and spacious, food is often locally sourced and fresher, and a strong sense of community means people genuinely know their neighbors. Some towns are so eager for new residents that they even offer incentives, subsidies, plots of land, or vacant houses to families willing to relocate. When I saw that I could rent an entire house with a garden for less than my tiny Tokyo apartment, I honestly thought it was a joke. It seemed too good to be true. But countryside life isn't always the idyllic dream it's made out to be. Many soon discover that slow living can also mean hard living. The conveniences of the city are suddenly gone, and adjusting can be a real challenge. In Tokyo, everything was convenient. 24-hour convenience stores, trains every few minutes. Here, the nearest supermarket is a 20-minute drive away, and it closes at 7 p.m. You have to plan everything. And then there are the social hurdles. In small, tight-knit towns, everyone knows everyone's business, and newcomers can sometimes be viewed with a bit of suspicion. Being an outsider is a real feeling. I thought people would welcome me with open arms immediately, but it took time. They were watching, trying to see if I was really serious about staying and contributing to the community, or if this was just a phase. Still, for those who persevere, that initial distance often melts away, transforming into deep, lifelong friendships. The effort to connect pays off in ways that a fleeting city relationship rarely can. Moving to the countryside doesn't mean giving up on a modern life. For many, it's about reinventing it. The most successful newcomers are those who find a way to blend traditional country life with their modern skills. I still work remotely for my company based in Tokyo, but my office view is now a vast expanse of rice fields. I can be writing code while listening to the sound of frogs at night. It's absolutely amazing. Others have found entrepreneurial opportunities. They're opening charming cafes, cozy guest houses, and unique local businesses that cater to both residents and tourists. Some get involved in community revitalization projects, teach English to local children, or take on the challenge of restoring old, traditional Japanese houses, known as kominka. When I started renovating my old Japanese house, my neighbors just started showing up to help. One brought tools, another brought tea. That was the moment I truly felt like I was part of the community. Japan's rural areas are undergoing a quiet transformation. Once viewed as dying or being left behind, they are now becoming laboratories for new ways of living. Digital nomads, artists, and young families are injecting fresh energy and new ideas. They're pioneering ecotourism, launching organic farming cooperatives, creating local artisanal brands, and turning abandoned buildings into creative spaces. I think we're building a bridge between the past and the future. We're working to keep valuable traditions alive, but we're doing it with a modern twist, making them relevant for today. Even local governments are getting on board. Recognizing the potential of this new wave of migration, they're investing in infrastructure like high-speed internet, offering startup grants for small businesses, and creating co-working spaces to attract and support these new residents. So, after years in the countryside, what have these pioneers learned? Almost everyone agrees on one thing: they've found balance. In Tokyo, my life was about chasing success and promotions. Here, I find myself chasing sunsets. Of course, it's not perfect. There are bugs, fewer amenities, and moments of isolation. But for so many, the countryside has given them back something Tokyo couldn't: the time and space to live life at their own, more human rhythm. From neon lights to fireflies, Japan's urban exodus isn't just about escaping the city. It's about a deeper search for connection, a rediscovery of what truly matters: community, nature, and peace of mind. What about you? Would you trade city life for the countryside? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from Japan. Thanks for watching.